Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Yuuki. Let's first of all talk about where you were and why, well, in terms of what you were looking for out of this number. And, you know, did it come anywhere near what you were thinking?
No, I was thinking somewhat near to the forecast figures. The figure was a little bit disappointing, as the Mike says. And there isn't any specific items which was responsible for the lower than expected figure. I think the most of the item was a little bit lower for the most figures. But what we can say at this moment is after the Lehman shock, most of the quick figures is very much becoming lower and will be revised afterwards. I think the reason is due to some of the forecasts which is including into the quick figures rather quite changeable afterwards.
Yuuki, is Japan headed for another recession?
Well, that is one of the probability because we are going to lose the incentive for buying cars and electric appliances, which was introduced by the former government. And because of the money which is left for the Japanese government, this incentive to buy the eco cars is finishing in September. And also for the electric appliances is going to end within this year. So people may buy quickly to use these incentives, but afterwards there may be a stall in the economy afterwards.
Okay, well, you know, what about the public debt? I think we're at, what, $10 trillion here at the moment. I mean, the pressure still remains here to cap this, really, doesn't it, Yuuki? And, you know, what can the Bank of Japan, what can the authorities there do about it?
Well, this is the problem the government and also the Bank of Japan is facing. Because we have entered to the deflation quite earlier than the United States and the other parts of the world, there isn't any room left for the central banks or the government to do because we are near zero interest rate at this moment, and most of the incentives has been used up, and there's a quantitative easing have been put to the force quite a long time. So. This is the problem the Bank of Japan is facing. There's nothing room, very much room that they can do at this moment.
And of course, we have the yen story as well. We have Mr. Yen, Mr. Sakakibara, saying that he could see the yen at 79 against the dollar. Do you buy into that?
Right. This is one of the probability. The funny thing is that very many countries now competing to have their own currencies. To have a very weak their own currencies. And so that's one of the reasons, even though there's no reason to buy Japanese currency at this moment, other government would like to see their own currencies very much weak for the export purposes. So Japan has to think of the way to weaken their own currencies, which is a very funny story.
Yeah, and I guess the most obvious way of that is for the central bank to go out there and buy dollars, intervene in the markets, in other words. And do you see them doing that? Do you see them doing that at any particular level?
Well, there's obviously a limit to the money where they can spend for the intervention. And I don't think we can think of the cooperative intervention by so many other countries because they are, and that will be against their will. I think what the government can do is to decrease the corporate tax, even though some of the exporters may face the negative side from the strong yen. This could be offset by decreasing corporate tax and other incentives to grow the Japanese economy.
Just very quickly as well, Yuuki, when we look at the domestic market there as well, is another round of quantitative easing, in other words, printing money, almost inevitable now?
Well, that is the other issue. Yes, that's true. But I don't think because we are entering this deflationary period and people are not using money, even though the low interest rate, the government has, I think, we may have the second thoughts about printing money and spreading out to the economy.
Yuuki, thank you very much indeed for joining.